So I did decide to, get some tutoring and, try a different approach to studying and preparing for the SAT. So the place where I'm taking my SAT classes is Huntington. They focus on helping students on the SAT and the ACT. And even beyond that, one thing that I did learn was how the modules on the SAT adapt. So when I first registered, they were telling me about what I need to do and how I need to do it in order to get the score that I want to get. So on the SAT, there's two modules for each section. Like there's the reading section and there's the math section. And on the reading, there's module 1 and module 2. And on the math, there's module 1 and module 2. Module 1 has, I don't want to say easy, but just general questions. They're not too easy. They're not too hard. They're just general common questions. And depending on how well you answer those questions or how well you don't answer them, your module 2 will adapt to give you questions that are like unique to your test taking ability. So if you were to get like a lot of the questions right on module 1, your module 2 would have harder questions. And if you were to get a lot of the questions on module 1 wrong, then on module 2, you would have easier questions. And the tricky thing is that on module 2, the easier questions are worth less points and the harder questions are worth way more points. So, if you want to get a really high grade on the SAT, like 1,300 and up, what you would have to do, you'd have to get to that second module with hard questions. And it was a bit weird to wrap my head around because I had no clue that's how the SAT functioned. But, my grade, my goal score on the SAT is at least a 1,300. So in order to get that high grade I want, first I have to make sure to get to the second module's harder questions. And then after that, I have to make sure to get majority of those harder questions right. So yeah, if you're looking to get that really high score, like 1,300 and up, that's what you're going to have to do. And on my SAT that I took back in March, they were able to tell me how well I did on the modules, like pertaining to if I got the easy questions or the hard questions, like that. And on the reading, I was able to get to the second module's harder questions. But on the math, I got to the second module's easier questions. So that's probably why I got the score that I got. But it's definitely an eye-opener because, again, I had no clue that the SAT could change around the questions like that. I thought it was a standardized test and that all the questions, had to be the same. And, it's a standardized test. But I guess since now that it's digital and on the computers, it's even more trickier than before. So again, if any of you out there are taking the SAT or you're taking it for the first time or you might be retaking it, definitely keep this in mind because you want to make sure that, every question that you answer, you're answering it with the best of your ability, especially if you want to get that really high score. So I hope that I've given you some more insight on what you might expect on the SAT. And, you can drop a like, drop a comment, tell me how your SAT went or which SAT you're going to be taking. And definitely if you're out there getting extra help like I am, getting tutoring, taking extra prep classes, and tell me how it's going. I really do want to know. And, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned because I will be coming back with some more videos and breaking down actual SAT questions and, those really hard questions that might come up on the SAT. So I'm going to come back and try and break them down and help you guys through them as well.